All right, so nice comfortable seats. And you can be sitting back in your chair to start out. If you want to sit forward a little bit, start to engage the core, you're welcome to do that. And you can just peek to see that your knees are landing over your ankles. You can always take a block between thighs, strap in if that feels good and it just gives you a little support. I might go ahead and just demo that today, but just mostly finding a place where you feel comfortable and easy. And let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, ha, let it go. Do that a couple more times. So nice deep inhale, really fill up, and maybe just pause at the top. Sip in a little more air if you can. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. And let's do one more like that. Smooth, deep inhale, fill up. Notice the expansion of the rib cage, the lift of the chest and heart. Pausing there at the top. Sip in a little more air. And then let the breath go, ha. And then if your eyes aren't closed, go ahead and close them. Start to find the rhythm of your Ujjayi breath. So inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose, creating that soft rush of air in the back of your throat. So you're kind of constricting the sides of the throat. And if that doesn't feel good, if it feels like too much for you today, just simple inhaling and exhaling through your nose is also really nice. And just using your breath as this focal point to help draw your attention inward. So you're really listening to that sound, you're focusing on that sound, and you're letting all of the other stuff, so all of the sounds in the room you're in, outside of the room that you're in, they're just drifting into the background. It's like they're not even there. And it's harder to do, but you're trying to find that same experience with the chatter happening inside your head. You're going to notice you find these pockets of stillness and it feels really nice, and then you're going to get distracted. So you just keep reminding yourself to come back to your breath. So we build this mindfulness muscle much like we build other muscles in our body. We keep at it. We stay devoted. We give it time and attention. So a few more moments here. I'm not going to talk. You're just going to drop into this quiet space. Good. Take a nice deep inhale here. Open your mouth. Sigh the breath out. Let it go. Ha. And then you can either keep your eyes closed if you want to open them. You're welcome to do that. We're just going to scrunch the shoulders up to the ears. Do that on a nice deep inhale. And then hold and really squeeze. So feel that tension, clench everything. Oh, and then it feels so good when we let it go. So again, inhale, scrunching shoulders up towards ears. Feel that tension in the neck and the shoulders. And then exhale, let it go. Ha, releasing. Couple more, scrunching in. Exhale, side out. Ha, one more time. Shoulders up to ears. And ha, let it go. And then let's just start to roll the shoulders back. Just releasing any tension that might be there. And then you can start to roll forward. Good. Roll back again. And then just allow your shoulder blades to release down your spine. So you're just sitting nice and tall. You feel this openness across your heart and chest. And let's just come into a little seated cat-cow. So you can press your hands on thighs or knees. So starting out, it feels like you're balanced on the center of your sit bones. But as we inhale, we're going to start to rock to the front. And we start to feel a nice arching in our lumbar, our lower back. Chest comes forward through the gates of the shoulders. As we exhale, we rock to the back of the sit bones and we lengthen. We start to round in the thoracic, kind of let your chin tuck towards your chest. Continuing like that at your own pace. So inhale, you find your arch. Nice work, everyone. As you exhale, you round in. Eyes can be open or closed here. Sometimes it feels nice to close the eyes. You can kind of bring our gaze inward, start to pay attention to the spine. How is it feeling today? What's going on? So just enjoying this movement, connecting the movement with breath, enjoying that rhythm that we're feeling inside our body. Good, couple more rounds. Hopefully it feels like you're already finding a little more openness, a little more space. It's pretty amazing. It doesn't take much movement to really shift how we're feeling physically, and that transfers to how we're feeling energetically, even emotionally. Good. So let's inhale up to a nice neutral spine. So sitting tall, and let's get into the neck a little bit here. So start to just bring your chin towards your chest. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Start to bring that right ear towards your right shoulder. Try to keep that shoulder releasing down. Good. Come back to center. And then inhale. Ear comes off to the left. So you're feeling a pretty intense stretch to the right side of the neck. Exhale. To center. We're going to do that a few times to each side. Inhaling, keeping that chin tucked. Shoulder blades releasing down. Right ear towards right shoulder. Good. Exhale back to center. Inhale. Off to the left, getting curious side to side. Is there a discrepancy in your body? Does it feel different on one side than the other? Exhale, come back to center. And then we go inhale, off to the right. Good. Exhale back to center. Good. Inhale to the left. Good. Exhale, come back to center. And then this time, keeping your chin tucked, instead of moving, bringing the ear to the shoulder in one breath, take several breaths. So move slow, maybe release your left hand by your side. Notice all of the little places that start to engage where you start to feel this stretch. You might even pause for a breath or two in certain spots that are pretty intense. And then just hanging out on that right side again. Just make sure that that right shoulder is releasing. You can even release those fingertips down if that feels good. Send your breath to the left side of the neck, especially that exhale. Just visualize it kind of like creating some space and ease, kind of combing out the tangles. If you would like to bring your right hand to the top of your head, just apply some very easy pressure. You might not need to do that at all. Good, nice work. And then take your right hand to your right cheek. Inhale, head comes to center. Exhale, chin begins to release down towards the chest. And then no hurry at all. Take your time. Keeping that chin tucked. We work towards bringing that left ear towards our left shoulder. You might be releasing down through your right fingertips. That's going to intensify the stretch. And you're going to get to places where you're feeling some intensity in that right side. Pause there. Send your breath there. Try to be there without clenching your face, jaw. So notice if that's happening. Maybe you've started to hold your breath a little bit in the intensity. Keep the breath moving. Really use that breath as a tool to help you be present in the pose. Finally, if you want to take your left hand, just apply a little gentle pressure. This side might be different, so you may not need to do that. Always assessing our poses in our yoga practice, making little adjustments. It's always a little different every time we practice the way we're feeling. So even though we do the same poses over and over again, this isn't static. It's always there's this flow, this change. Okay, use your left hand to help you inhale. Press your head upright. Nice work. So let's go ahead and get into the shoulders a little bit here. So I'm going to have you inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. All right, and then you're going to interlace your fingers, press your palms up towards the ceiling. We're going to hold here for a few breaths. And as you do this, really start to feel this inner arm wrap towards your outer arm. As that happens, it starts to feel as though you're widening across the backs of your shoulders. Good. And then as we exhale, just moving nice and slow, start to extend arms forward. Nice work. And do that a couple times. So inhale, arms reach up, and you might not reach up very far at all. So ears might come in line with biceps. Your inner arms might be slightly forward. So you just go to the place that you're feeling okay in your body. As we exhale, we release down. Nice. One more. Inhale up. And I want you to observe what thumb and index is crossed on top. So just make a little mental note of that. And then as we exhale, we release. And then just go ahead and release your arms. My shoulders just kind of went ah after doing that. So just let your arms release by your side. Take a couple of breaths here. Feel that openness across your heart and chest. All right, so we're gonna interlace our fingers again, but I want you to do the opposite thumb and index on top. We're gonna do this behind the back of our neck. Nice, all right. So this can be really, really intense. So depending upon how open you are in the pectorals, in those muscles across your back, the scapula, you might be able to lean your elbows back. Doesn't matter if that's happening, but you move in that direction until you're feeling a really nice stretch. Good. All right, so we're going to take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, start to release your right elbow down, left elbow is going to reach up. It might not be very far at all. That's okay. This is intense. Inhale to center. Nice work. As you exhale, release that left elbow down, right elbow reaches up. Couple more. Inhale up to center. I've got something in my eyeball here. As you exhale, right elbow releases down. Good. Inhale up to center. As you exhale, release that left elbow down. Nice work. Inhale to center here. We're going to hold for just a few breaths each side. So as you exhale, release. You can feel this right shoulder head pressing back as you reach that left elbow up towards the ceiling. Still sitting nice and tall here. So finding that length through the sides of the waist. All three of you, these look fantastic. Good. Come up to center. And then exhale. Go ahead and release that left elbow down. You also might feel the back of your head pressing into that right forearm, so you can kind of lean back there. Oh, we're feeling this. As you inhale, come up to center. Release the arms, sigh relief. Just wiggle the shoulders, maybe even shake the arms out a little bit. All right, so let's do a little lateral side to side stretching. Ugh. All right, so arms just reaching by your side, rooting down into your sit bones, feeling all of this length through the sides of your waist. We're going to hold on to this as we start to flow a little bit from side to side. So as you inhale, take that left arm up and over. Good. As you exhale, release down. Inhale, right arm comes up and over. As you exhale, you release. Good. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, release. We're going to do a few to each side, and then we're going to hold each side. So as you move here, you're just finding a pace with your breath that feels really good today. It's not too fast. It's not too slow. It's that nice Goldilocks spot. You're feeling really graceful here, really fluid. You're enjoying this rhythm, this movement. These look wonderful. Good. So the next time that left arm is up and over, let's just hold there. Really anchor down into that left sit bone. Imagine that somebody's just pressing their hand into that thigh. And then from that anchoring sensation, reach up through your fingertips. Feel your inner arm wrap in a little bit. Feel your shoulder blades stack on top of each other. Try to spin these right ribs up ever so gently so there's a slight twist in this side stretch. These look great. You might even start to bring your gaze up underneath that top arm if that feels okay to do so. Good. As you exhale, release left arm down. Inhale, right arm comes up and over. How does this side feel different? Does it feel different? This sense of really anchoring down into that right sit bone, that weighted feeling really helps you to stretch up through those right fingertips. And we're getting a little internal rotation here, inner arm wrapping in towards that cheek, shoulder blades moving in towards each other. And then you're wrapping these left ribs up ever so gently. Really nice. Good. Deep inhale. As you exhale, release down there. Let's just do a few full sun salutes today. I think it's been a few weeks since we've done this. So if you do have blocks at your home practice, these can be really nice just by the outer edges of your feet, and you can do any height that feels good. If you don't have them, don't worry about that. And we'll break it down nice and slow. This first one, we'll take a few breaths in each pose, and then we'll just do a few rounds flowing, which will feel really nice. Okay, so coming into your nice Tadasana, your mountain pose, your seated mountain pose. So feeling the shoulders stack over your sit bones, feeling all of that length, that beautiful height through the sides of your waist. You can just release your arms by your side here. Notice this lift, this openness across your heart and chest that you have. Good. So hold on to that sensation. As you inhale, we're going to stretch our arms out and up. We're going to hold here for a few breaths. So keep this sternum lifting up. Maybe you start to bring your gaze up. Just imagine that you're out on a warm, sunny beach here. All right, so as we exhale, a few options. You can take your arms out wide. We're going to fold all the way in. Some of us will feel a little more steady, using our hands to help us roll on down. And your hands could be on blocks here, kind of just depending upon how you're built, the flexibility in your body. Your fingertips might be just resting on the floor. Check in with your neck here. So we really want to let it lengthen. Just imagine that there's a weight attached to your forehead, pulling you towards the ground. From here, we're going to start to inhale. So you're going to press into your palms. You can have fingertips on floors. This is where blocks are really nice because you can press your hands down there. You also could just have your hands on your thighs. So we're looking for length through the sides of our waist, but we're still hinging forward at the waist. So you're, this kind of is like our cobra pose, a seated cobra pose. So press the shoulder heads back, even feel the elbow squeeze in wherever you're at. And your gaze is just soft and gentle out in front of you. Yeah, that's it, Jim. Nice. So Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. We're going to exhale, come back into our full forward fold, our Uttanasana. So again, let the muscles in the back of the neck release and lengthen. And then from here, we're going to come back up to our extended mountain pose. So a few options. You can take your arms out wide and roll on up. So that takes a little core work. You can also just slide the hands up, kind of help press into your thighs to come up, and then take your arms out and up. Nice work. Lifting, you could imagine that you have a buddy there just pulling up gently on your wrist so you're finding more space. Maybe gaze up, maybe even press palms together. As we exhale, hands come to heart center. Nice work. So we're going to put that together. One movement per breath. We're not going to move super fast. We're just going to let this feel good. So just moving into these sun salutes. So let's exhale, release our arms by our side. Inhale, take up lots of space as you reach arms out and up. Exhale, you start to fold all the way in, whatever that looks like. Let the back of your neck lengthen and release. Inhale, hands press to blocks or thighs, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Nice work. As you exhale, you fold back in to your Uttanasana. Root down. Inhale, start to rise back up into that extended mountain pose. Feel all of that length. Beautiful work. As we exhale, hands come down to heart center. Good. Two more. Inhaling, reaching up. Feeling very graceful, very easy here. Just enjoying how these feel as you exhale. You fold in any amount. Good. Nice work. As you inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. You start to press into your palms, so arms straighten. Exhale, fold in. Good. Inhale, root down. Come on up. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. So I'm not going to cue this final one. You can follow along with me. If you know what you're doing, you just move at your own pace. So let these feel really good. If there's anything you want to throw in, add, you're welcome to. Really listen to that sound of your breath. Connect the movement with your breath. So just turn this into a little moving meditation. And when you're done, just pause with your palms together at your heart. You can close your eyes. Check in. So we're about halfway through class. So just notice how you're feeling differently already. Notice what's shifting for you. Notice the space that you're starting to find in your body. Maybe even inside your head. Notice the depth and the richness of the breath. And soak all of that up. Good. And then just blink your eyes open, release your hands down. Let's come into a little hip stretch here. So I'm going to lose the strap around my legs. And we're going to come into our seated pigeon pose. So if it is accessible in your body, you're just going to cross your right ankle above left thigh. If that's not happening, a couple of other good options would be to simply open this right leg up. So you're getting that hip opening. You could also, if you had another chair, you might take that in front of you. It might feel a little better to open up the leg that way. It might just give you a little more space. So when you're crossing the ankle above the knee, sometimes that can feel a little intense. So finding any variation that works for you. And you might be feeling sensation in that right outer hip, just like this. And if that's the case, you don't need to add on at all. If it feels like there's a little more space, you might just start to gently press down on that right thigh. So it's like you're trying to drive that knee towards the floor, and you're very gentle about that. And if your leg is open, you could be doing the same thing, just gently pressing in so the knee is pressing back behind you. Keeping the breath smooth and steady, and then check in with other parts of your body. Have your shoulders started to creep up around your ears? Soften them down. Is there any tension in your face and jaw? Let it go. So listen to that sound of your breath. And let's stay here for several more breaths. So kind of just allowing the body a little time to open up in this position. So if you're in this open leg position, you're just going to stay here. If your foot is on a chair, same scenario. If you are able to cross the ankle over the knee, and you're going to gauge this, if you feel steady and you feel like there's enough hip opening, maybe you start to fold in. And again, hands on blocks or a table in front of you can be really nice. You don't have to go very deep here, but as we start to fold in, it just intensifies the stretch a little bit. And you can just, again, just visualize your exhale going to that right glute, the hamstring, the hip area, a lot of big muscles that attach there. So there's always a lot of sensation when we come into these poses. Couple more good breaths. All right, so if you're forward folding, just roll on up, and let's go ahead and take that right thigh entirely over the left thigh. So just finding our eagle pose legs. And if that's not happening in your body, you could always just cross at your ankles too. That would kind of approximate this. So that would be another good option. You could also just be kind of in your mountain pose too. We're gonna do an arm variation here. So if the legs aren't happening today, it's no big deal. I always like to point that out in this adaptive class, especially since I'm putting these on YouTube. If you're newer to this, if a pose isn't working or if it's not making sense, just skip it or modify it so you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. All right. So as you're sitting nice and tall here, just imagine that somebody is kind of just gently squeezing in on your hips. So you're feeling some containment. Notice if you start to, just the idea of that, if it helps you to sit a little taller. And then we're going to come into our eagle arms here as well. So we're going to inhale, stretch your arms out nice and wide. Good. Feel your shoulder blades release down your back here. We're going to give ourselves a hug. We're going to take the right arm underneath, so left arm on top. We're going to stack the elbows, and let's just stay here like this for now, and let's just floss the elbows out a little bit. So as you inhale, start to lift the elbows up. And then exhale, they release down. So we're just kind of warming up that shoulder girdle, which should feel nice. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, lift, elbows up. Exhale, lower. And then inhale up here. So option to stay like this. You might be able to bring the backs of your hands together. You might even be able to like really pretzel around and press palms. So find any variation, start to lift the elbows a little higher, but as you're doing that, keep releasing your shoulder blades down towards your sit bones. So nice little intense neck shoulder stretch here. Let's keep the arms like this. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, gentle, 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 start to twist to the right. It doesn't have to be deep. We're going to do this a couple times. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, it might just be the tiniest, tiniest movement. Start to exhale off to the right. Good. Inhale to center. And then as we exhale, let's come to the right. As you inhale, keep the twist in your torso. Stretch your arms out. Good. Deep inhale. Exhale, unwind your torso, release your arms. Nice work. Give the shoulders a little roll out there. And then we're going to take that little sequence to the second side, which might look entirely different. So just because you were able to do something on one side does not mean that that will be true on the second side. So again, you just listen to your body, you make little adjustments. So our options here are to cross that left ankle above the right knee. Maybe you're going to use your chair in front of you so you're not in quite as tight, so that can feel a little bit easier. And then of course we have the option of simply opening up this left hip any amount, just keeping that foot on the floor. So they're all getting into the same area, they're all doing the same thing. Good. And then again, you can use your hands if you feel like you have a little more space. So if leg is open, you're gently pressing that knee back behind you. If you're in the seated version of this, maybe you press into that thigh so the knee is moving towards the floor. And you're getting curious. You're asking yourself, how does this side feel different in my body? Does it feel different? Do I need to back out a little bit? Can I go in a little deeper? Just noticing these things. And then just breathing into the sensations, trying to keep the jaw soft and relaxed, the breath smooth and steady. And that's easier said than done sometimes in these static poses where we're holding and where there's a lot of sensation. Good. So again, I invite you to just stay here like this, especially if your foot is on the floor or if you're using a chair. If you do feel like you have the space to forward fold in and you feel secure, like you won't fall over, you're welcome to hinge forward at the waist, fold in any amount, and then just kind of depending upon how you're built, how flexible you are, you could have hands on blocks or on a table in front of you or a chair in front of you. This just shifts that place that we feel this stretch. You start to get it a little more in the glute. Might even feel it in the groin a little bit. These look really good. This is one of those poses side to side. The sensations can be really different. Good. So let's start to make our way out of this here. So if you're in the forward fold, you start to roll on up. If foot is on the floor, you can start to bring it in. We're going to take that left thigh over the right thigh. So coming into our eagle legs, Garudasana legs. And then again, just find this idea. You might not actually be able to assess it or feel it in your body, but there's this idea that you're kind of squeezing inward. You can feel inner thighs potentially squeeze, outer thighs move in. And even if that's not a sensation that you have access to in your body, just the thought of it, the idea of it, does it inform how you sit? So maybe it helps you to find a little more height through the sides of your waist. Good. So just a couple breaths here. Let's take this into our eagle arms. So as you inhale, stretch your arms out nice and wide. This time the left arm is going to come underneath. So you can kind of grab the outer edges of your shoulders. Elbows are stacking on top of each other. And let's just do that little flossing action again. So as you inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, they start to release down. Inhaling up. Good. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release down. And then inhale, find just that center place. You might stay here like this. Maybe you can bring the backs of the hands to press together. Maybe palms press together. Wherever you're at, you can lift the elbows a little higher, but feel your shoulder blades release down towards your sit bones. And then feel those sit bones rooting into your chair. They're going to stay nice and steady. We're going to take a deep inhale. Exhale is going to be the tiniest amount. Feel that lowermost right rib start to wrap to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Good. Exhale. Twist to the left. Can be the teeniest amount. Inhale back to center. Good. Exhale. Twist. Hold here. Doesn't have to be super deep. As you inhale, reach your arms out. Feel that opening, that widening across your heart and chest. Good. Deep inhale. Exhale. Torso comes to face to center. Nice work. Ooh. And then as we exhale, we release the arms, give them the shoulders a little wiggle. Might even feel good to shake out the hands here. And then let's go ahead and uncross that right thigh. And let's actually get into the fingers and the wrists a little bit. I think that will feel nice. So we're gonna reach our right hand out. And then just one finger at a time, using your opposite hand, just start to pull back. It doesn't have to be very deep. Take a few seconds on each finger. This is a good one to do, especially like if you're at the computer a lot. Just pause during your day when you're working. And give the hands, the fingers a little love. They sometimes get neglected in all of this. Good. And then when you're done, let's just reach the arms out. And let's make fists with the hands. And just start to circle around in the wrists. Good. Begin to switch directions. Good. Release your arms by your side. And today, I think I'd like to do just like a little restorative pose here before we do some breath work and our final resting pose. So I'd like to come into a version of a child's pose. So Jim, I know that you have another chair in front of you, and Tammy, I think you have your table in front of you. So you can cross your arms over the top of the chair and just let your forehead rest on something. Jean, I'm not sure if you have another chair, but you could pull that in. You could also just forward fold in here if that feels okay, if that doesn't feel like too much stretch on the neck. And you can always use, if you need a little more height for your head. So chairs are nice. You have the tall way that you can use and just crisscross your arms. It's really nice to have your forehead resting on something. So if you're wanting to forward fold in a little deeper, if you have that flexibility in your body, but it's hard to rest the forehead on the seat of the chair, this is where a block could be really nice. And you could kind of stretch your arms forward here. You could also let arms release by the side. If you have a couple of blankets or a bolster, that could be really nice on the chair too. And then you can just fold in here. So we're gonna just kind of take it easy for 5 minutes here. Just finding your breath. Maybe moving towards starting to stretch it out a little bit so the inhale starts to get a little longer. The exhale gets a little longer. Do a little scan of your body. You want to make sure that you're not gripping or holding anything here. So we really want to turn this into a nice supported pose. So you're feeling propped up here. There's not a lot of effort here. You're allowing your body to just kind of take the shape of any props that you're using. And just enjoying this quiet, and just being really passive here. This can be a really good thing to do. Any of these restorative poses. This is actually the perfect time of day to do it when you might be getting a little sleepy, you need a little pick-me-up, or maybe you don't want to have any caffeine. 5 or 10 minutes of this can make a really nice difference. And give your energy a little lift. As we hold here, you might start to notice that places in your body begin to release a little bit. So you start to find a little more space. For many of us, these quieter, long-held poses can actually be really challenging. We think that we're not doing enough. So if that happens to be you, let that idea go. Really give yourself permission to relax and take it easy. It's really important that we do. It has this nice calming effect on the body and the mind. It has this healing effect. We spend like the bulk of our time in fight, flight, freeze mode, so that sympathetic nervous system, we're trying to get things done, check things off the to-do list, and it starts to create some tension and stress. So it's also important that we drop into the parasympathetic nervous system. These restorative poses are wonderful for that, where we start to check in, we start to slow down, we breathe. It's almost like making a little deposit in your wellness bank. So about 4 or 5 more good breaths here. And just taking your time, moving nice and slow. As you inhale, you're going to start to roll on up. And if you have a chair and props near, you can just keep them there. You might want to come into that again for your Shavasana. But let's move into a little breath work here. It's been a few weeks since we've done our alternate nostril breathing. So let's play with that today. So I'm just going to review really quick. So let's all take our right hand, and I'm opposite of you right now. Actually, I'll do my my left hand. So right hand, start to just wiggle out those fingers. So release the fingertips towards the wrist. Yeah. And then pull up. Good. And then let's do that. So you're going to find this spot where the fingertips are at the top of the knuckles. You're going to keep the second and third squeezing in. It's hard for me to do on this left hand. I broke the second and third finger there. So that's tricky. All right. So we're going to use, it's kind of like your ring finger and pinky finger are becoming one finger. So they can kind of stack on top of each other. And this doesn't have to be perfect. And then we have our nose. So we're going to bring it to the bridge here. All right. And then just play around so you can feel the bony part of your nose. Notice that. And then of course there's the cartilage. So we kind of want that in between space. And when we're blocking our nostril, we don't have to block very hard. So it's just a very, very gentle press. All right. So go ahead and close your eyes. Let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose, both nostrils. Full, complete exhale through both nostrils. Good. Block your right nostril with your ring finger, pinky finger. As you inhale, take in breath through that right nostril. Good. Exhale through the right. Block the right with your thumb. Inhale left. Good. Exhale through the left nostril. Block the left with your ring and pinky. Inhale through your right. Exhale through your right nostril. Block right. Inhale left. Exhale left. Block left. Inhale right. Exhale right. Good. Block right. Inhale left. Good. Exhale left. Release your right hand down. Take an inhale through both nostrils. Good. Exhale through both nostrils. And then without using your hands, without doing the physical blocking, this time just see if you can inhale through that right nostril. Exhale through that right nostril. And then we switch. So see if you can inhale through the left nostril without blocking the right. Exhale through the right. I think I make faces when I do this. Inhale through both. Exhale through both. And then just return to nice, normal, easy breathing here. Just observe how you feel after that pranayama work. You might feel a little lightness, a little lift. And we're going to move towards our Shavasana here. So you are welcome to just stay seated in your chair. If you wanted to come into that supported child's pose again, if that felt comfortable to you, you're welcome to do that. If you're watching at home on YouTube and it's easy for you to get to the floor, you can come into classic Shavasana. So just find any position where you feel really relaxed, where you can start to surrender and let go. melt in and just soak up all of the benefits of the work that you've done for the past hour. So all of this hard work, you just kind of let it assimilate into your bones, into your muscles. And you let your breath find its own natural, easy rhythm. You give your head permission to be quiet just a little longer. Asato ma satgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma mritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a deeper inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. And just start to bring your awareness back to your body, some movement back to your body. So wiggle, stretch. And then just bring your palms in a pile on top of your heart. Check in here, notice how you feel, notice what's shifted for you this past hour. Hopefully it feels like there's a greater sense of space and ease in your body, There's a depth and richness to your breath. And then finally, your headspace might be feeling a little quieter. You might be feeling more focused, perhaps even a little sense of joy. So soak up all of these good sensations. You made them happen. Send yourself love and gratitude for showing up and working hard. Just promise yourself that you're going to carry some of this feeling with you into the rest of the day, the rest of the week ahead. And just bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today. Thank you.